What's up, Ohio? Hello, everybody, and welcome to my football review and preview of the upcoming NFL and college football weekend. I am your host, Nick Brolis. Thank you for joining me. You can feel free to follow me on Twitter at mbrolis. You can email me, nickbrolis8404@yahoo.com. And of course, this edition of the football review and preview show is brought to you by my buddies Andy, Barry, Casey, and Dan at Cafe 80s. You can feel free to download the Bands in Town app on your smartphone, or you can feel free to visit them at their website at thecafe80s.net or find them on Facebook at thecafe80s. But let's get right to it because we got quite a bit to talk about. First, we're going to review and preview the college side because I don't want to get you guys too mixed up. But let's take a look at the review side of it. Number 10, TCU at number 20, West Virginia. I took TCU, and TCU won. I also watched the number 4 Auburn at number 7 Ole Miss game. I thought Ole Miss was going to beat Auburn, but apparently I was wrong. Auburn won that game. And then also the Stanford Cardinal at number 5 Oregon. I took Oregon, and Oregon won. Then number 6 Notre Dame. I'm sure I told you, Dave, this was going to happen. At Navy. I thought Navy would give them a bigger run for their money. Apparently that happened later on in the second half. But I took Notre Dame, and Notre Dame won. And then the big one, Illinois at number 13, Ohio State. I told a lot of you that I foreseen Ohio State beating them by at least 40. Well, they beat them by 41. Close. Ohio State just absolutely annihilated them, and it's exactly how I expected it to go. So, that's your review from last week of college. Now let's preview this upcoming weekend for college. Number 11, Georgia, goes to Kentucky. I'm taking Georgia. I think that they'll have just enough to go to Kentucky and win, even though Kentucky's been a good team this year. Also, number 13, Baylor at number 18, Oklahoma. I am taking Baylor due to their high-powered, fast-paced offense. Number 10, Notre Dame at number 14, Arizona State. I'm taking Notre Dame just because of the fact that I think they're just overall a better team. And I do think that Notre Dame should be in the playoff picture for those first 4 spots. Also, Michigan at Northwestern. Now, I'm only bringing this up because I haven't watched hardly any of these two teams, and Michigan's just been outright terrible. Now, maybe with the firing of their athletic director, maybe that lights a flame up, maybe they shock some people, but I have Northwestern winning this one. Now, let's move to the primetime games. Number 9, Kansas State at number 7, TCU. Well, I think Kansas State does have an offense. I think TCU not only has a better offense, but I think that they have a good defense. And it wouldn't shock me the least bit. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, I do think that TCU should be one of the 4 playoff teams. Number 6, Alabama, goes to number 19, LSU. I took Alabama because I just think that they're a flat-out better team. And I don't think that LSU is going to get 2 wins in a row over ranked opponents. Just my opinion. Number 5, Oregon, travels to Utah, who is ranked number 17 in the country. I'm taking the upset, and I'm going to take Utah. I haven't watched a whole lot of them. Can't tell you much about them, but to me, I think I'm definitely putting Oregon on upset. Now, the big one. Number 16, Ohio State, travels to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans. I am going to call for the Ohio State Buckeyes to win this game by 3 points. I think it's going to come down to the very last possession. It wouldn't shock me if it goes to overtime. And I say this because not only has our secondary gotten better, we have a good front 7, and JT Barrett continues to improve, and he's also learning how to use his legs to make plays. So, that's it with the college side. Now, going to the pros. Reviewing last week, I picked Arizona to upset Dallas, and I was right. They beat Dallas. Also, I took Houston to defeat the Eagles, and I was wrong. The Eagles went down to Houston, and they won. Also, I took KC over the Jets. Interesting touchdown there. I think it was Fasano, one of their players. Very interesting touchdown catch, to say the least. So I won that one, KC and the Jets. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals took care of business over the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I did pick Cincinnati, so I got that one right. The one that I missed was St. Louis at the 49ers. I took the 49ers, and the Rams upset the 49ers. Then, I took Denver over New England, and I was wrong again. New England absolutely crushed Denver. Just don't know what it is when it's Manning meets Brady. I just don't know. I don't get it, because I personally feel that Peyton Manning's the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, the Sunday night game, I had Pittsburgh beating Baltimore, and I was right again. Pittsburgh beat them. And then the Cleveland Browns did exactly what I expected them to do. They defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I got it right with that. So, I was pretty good on all those picks. Now, previewing Week 10 of the upcoming NFL weekend. First, I'm taking, I don't know if you want to consider this an upset, but I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs in Buffalo. I'm also taking the Lions and over the Dolphins. And I'm going to take Dallas to defeat the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Saints over the 49ers. I'm picking Baltimore to defeat Tennessee. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the Jets. I'm picking Tampa Bay over Atlanta. I'm taking the Broncos over the Raiders. I'm going to take Arizona over the Rams. I picked the Seahawks to beat the Giants. And for the Sunday night game, the longest rivalry in the NFL, I'm taking Green Bay over Chicago. And for the Monday night game, I'm picking Philadelphia over the Panthers. Now, for the Thursday night game, which puts the Cleveland Browns against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, while the Browns are missing 3 of their Pro Bowl players, okay, just found out today that Cincinnati is going to be missing 4 or 5 of their starting defensive players. Now, with that being said, I'm going to take Cincinnati by 3 points, and the reason is this. The Browns still lack a lot of depth in so many important areas. Now, hopefully Andrew Hawkins, who is questionable right now, plays, because if he doesn't play, I think the Bengals are going to beat us by 14 to 21 points. And I know Hawkins isn't like a big play wide receiver type deal, but he's good enough to where he can make a difference between converting third downs, because he's been very good at doing that for us this year. So, with that being said, I take the Bengals over the Browns, and another reason is because I've noticed over the last 5-10 years, the Bengals have also been able to draft almost as good, if not better, than Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And although the Browns have improved over the last 5 years in drafting, Cincinnati has really just done a really phenomenal job with their draft picks for quite some time now. So, that being said, I thank all of you for tuning in to this edition of my football review and preview. I hope that you all have a great weekend and enjoy watching football.